Updates to the Illinois assault weapons ban, where I'm going to play you video and audio from today's discussions from State Representative Caulkins, the Illinois State Rifle Association's Ed Sullivan, and State Rep Windhorst. And others say contrary to Governor Pritzker's statements, Friday's ruling is statewide and urged the Illinois State Police to make clear whether they are enforcing a gun ban that is deemed unconstitutional. And we have a strange twist coming out of the Illinois Supreme Court, where Governor Pritzker said Wednesday that despite his multi-million-dollar donations to 2 Illinois Supreme Court justices last year, they are independent and should not have to recuse themselves from 2 high-profile cases before them in which the governor is a defendant. I'd like to know your thoughts and comments in the comment section, guys. And as well as if you support the Second Amendment, subscribe to this channel, and of course, share our video. We're going to move on to this audio. We're going to start playing it, and here we go.
Last Friday, Judge Forbes issued a final judgment, and I'm going to use a couple of words here that are legal, and lawyers are listening in, and people want to know what's going on. You can ask an attorney. It was a Rule 18 order, a final judgment declaring the law unconstitutional. And in order to make a direct appeal to the Illinois Supreme Court under this Rule 302A1, the Attorney General has to agree that the law has been invalidated and it negates the very existence of the law and in all applications. And that is the essence of this appeal.
The statement that we have released from ISRA is, after reviewing with counsel the Macon County Circuit Court's decision based on how the decision is not explicitly limited to one named person or groups of persons, and based on how the opinion clearly finds the challenged law unconstitutional on its facial basis as opposed to being unconstitutional as applied to any particular person or to all persons in the state. We acknowledge that the language therein also seems aimed towards facilitating an Illinois Supreme Court review, and we are confident that the skillful attorneys representing the plaintiffs will successfully present their arguments to that court at the appropriate time. Now, this was written a few days ago, and we learned this morning that the Supreme Court has taken up this decision on their May docket, and so we know that this has already taken place.
Now, despite these rulings, Governor Pritzker and Attorney General Raoul have pressed forward with their messaging that these rulings only apply to a limited number of people, even though the law has been deemed unconstitutional. What we have is a lack of clarity and confusion about what is going on with the status of the law. So the question I have, and I think the question that should be posed to those in the executive branch is the state actively enforcing this law? If they are actively enforcing this law, why are they enforcing a law that courts have deemed as unconstitutional? Even though there are only certain parties to these cases, the Attorney General was involved in the case, the Governor, of course, was involved in the case, and those decisions are binding upon them until a contrary ruling occurs. They should not be enforcing an unconstitutional law, and they need to express, if they are, why they are enforcing that law.
Governor Pritzker says it's ridiculous to think that Supreme Court justices who gave $1 million to each should recuse themselves. Says it's a right-wing talking point. Representative Caulkins, I don't know if you want to speak to that as the plaintiff in this case, but should these 2 Supreme Court justices recuse themselves?
That's up to them. We're not asking for that. We're not pursuing that. That's not an issue. Our issue is that this is an unconstitutional law. Our process goes to the Illinois Supreme Court, where we expect to get a fair hearing and defend our judgment, and we're not concerned about that.
Anybody else want to speak to that?
There you go.
All right. So there you have it, folks. I'm really curious. Do you think there's going to be a clear and cut case when it comes to the final decision in May? Or do you think there's going to be some event that provides a twist that we just aren't seeing? Either way, let us hope that the Second Amendment of both the United States Constitution and the state of Illinois ultimately is upheld and is going to allow the citizens to exercise their Second Amendment and protect themselves. I would encourage you to check out the link in the description of this post, as the sponsor of today's show is the United States Concealed Carry Association, offering you education, training, and self-defense liability insurance. If you click on the link in the description, you'll also get a free guide from the USCCA. They help support this channel as well as learn a bit more about them. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Share this video. I appreciate all the support. And as always, remain safe.